Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Hug Nation's Love Morning. I am John, and this is a daily practice of sharing gratitude and connecting. So thank you for being a part of it, whether you're here live or you're watching this recording. Hopefully you're taking a moment to bring into mind some things in your life that are good. Maybe it's something amazing that just happened, or maybe something that's there every day that you've begun to take for granted. Grateful for temperature control in our homes. I woke up before the heater went on, and it was chilly, and now it's comfortable. So grateful for the technology to keep a home so comfortable all year round. I often start with the song because that's the way I get my brain started. And if you were in this room, you would know that I've not farted. But if you were in this room, you would feel some gratitude too. And I would hope that if it was your turn to talk, then I'd hear some gratitude from you. Well, it's Love Morning. Welcome now. Good morning. If you are here, say hello. If you're not, what a strange thing for me to address. But I hope that you're feeling gratitude wherever you are. It is a Saturday morning. I hope that people are enjoying their days away from work, if they have that. I almost said days off, but is a day ever off? The days are. They simply are. You simply have a scheduled work day not. So that in that sense, you have the work day off. Today is still on. I'm grateful for that. Grateful for another day. Grateful for a time to begin again. Grateful for the opportunity to start from this and be grateful for it. I've been having a number of conversations lately about that aspect of presence, the practice of starting fresh and appreciating what you have now and not falling into the trap of comparison or wishing things were different. Wishing that this thinning spot in my hair didn't make me want to wear hats. Instead, waking up and being grateful that I've got a head and it still has hair on it. Good Lord, what a gift. Grateful that I can get up in the morning and walk around instead of being frustrated that I'm achy as I'm trying to make the bed. Because if I start from now, that's just the way it is. Good morning, Juan. Good morning, Annalise. Anybody have something they would like to be grateful for? I'm grateful for the long relationship I've had with the plant to my right that you can't see, and this plant behind me. I repotted this one yesterday. I removed a whole bunch of soil and replaced it with bark in hopes that it did not retain water so much. We'll see if I did it in time. The roots may have been wet for too long. The new leaves have come in with all brown and dead and stuff. And I'm pretty sure, I take that back, I'm not pretty sure. My hypothesis is that when I repot it into this huge pot with a ton of soil, it just hasn't been drying out quick enough and the roots are not getting enough oxygen because it's too wet down there. It's probably been, almost 2 months since I watered it. That can't be good. And it's still, when I do the moisture meter, it's still damp in there. And this one in front of me, I think it's having the same problem. All the leaves are starting to have this brownish thing in the middle of it. And so it's either got a disease or it's the same thing. That pot's just been, every time I put the moisture meter in, it's just not drying out. So I'm grateful I've had so many wonderful years, and grateful that my threshold for conscious awareness does not reach the actual pain of a plant. It does hurt my heart to see a plant not thriving, but not in the same way it would if it was, say, a 23-year-old man that was withering in hunger or thirst in the corner. That would be much harder. Good morning, Healing Palms. Healing Palms is grateful for being alive. Fantastic. Me too. What a miraculous thing it is to be conscious in this universe. Think how much matter in this universe is not conscious. And we get to be in some of the matter that is conscious and mobile and has a system that can interpret sensations, can interpret vibrations as sound, can interpret molecules in the air as smell, can interpret pressure and temperature as cold and hot. Whoa, what a gift. I'm with you. Grateful to be alive. Juan says, I'm grateful for free sofas from my sister. Yay, Sister Sofas. Almost sounds like it's a band name. Hello to you in cloudy Utah. Big hugs to you, Dawn. I am grateful for my new shirt I got. I keep seeing advertisements for these fancy t-shirts, and I have never bought a fancy t-shirt. But then I was with a friend who was wearing one, and I'm like, man, that looks really good on you. And it was this brand, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna splurge and buy myself a fancy t-shirt. I'm grateful that I'm getting close to being ready for the memorial tomorrow. I'm, being the master of ceremonies, and Giannis's middle name was Osiris, and so he was very connected to Egyptian traditions and early Egyptian stuff. So someone shared with me this Egyptian death blessing thing offering. So I'm going to do that, and it asks for you give an offering of bread, beer, alabaster, clothing, oxen, and bird. I'm not going to slaughter an ox, and I'm not going to put a bird in there, but I did acquire some alabaster, and yesterday I baked. The past tense of bake is baked, not boke. So I baked a loaf of bread in the bread maker I've got. So I've got my basket filled with offerings, ready for that, and made some signage for another giveaway that we're going to have at the ceremony tomorrow. So super looking forward to that. I'm super grateful just for the ability to connect with a bunch of people, and grateful that I feel comfortable enough speaking in public that I'm not too worried about what I'm going to say or how it's going to go. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Dawn is grateful for her 3 doggos. Chris says, can you use feathers to represent the birds? That's not a bad idea. That's a great idea. What should I do to represent an ox or oxen? I actually have a feather right here. There we go. Feathers it is. Thanks, Chris. Good morning, Gerbot. Anyone else have anything that they're feeling grateful for? I'm grateful that I got a chance to see my parents yesterday. It was nice to see them, and picked up some old pots and ceramic, mostly terracotta pots that are just in their yard that have been there for years that I borrowed to fill in with some plants that I've got in the yard here that are in plastic pots. So just to make it feel a little nicer around the kind of back patio or front patio of our home. That was wonderful. I'm grateful for that chapter of being in the dirt yesterday. And I'm grateful that I've got a pretty open day today. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but grateful for the freedom to do nothing or visit a friend or whatever feels right. Chris suggestion, bone or stones can be used for the oxen. All right, I'll think about that. It's true. Maybe I do have a big old bone in the backyard. It must be from, I'm sure it's something big. I could tell people it's oxen. Good morning, Annalise. Annalise is grateful for campfires and sunshine. Gerbot is grateful for visiting friends yesterday. A perfect day to visit friends, as is every day. I'm grateful for this practice and for Zoom noon practices and feeling connected and hearing other people's gratitude and how wonderful that is on my heart and psyche. Oh, I'm grateful that I played my mom my Heart-Centered Men video, and she said, I love the words, but the song is so angry. It doesn't seem like it goes with the song. And I realized that I was kind of preemptively being cautious and making sure that people didn't make fun of me. As I think that if I did it sincerely and talked about the sacred masculine and men together with men, that people would just it would feel like cliche or like sensitive new age guy. People roll their eyes at me. So I made it kind of into like a tough rap, and then with some silliness at the end. And so I was like, you're right. So last night I made a sincere version. I used AI to export the same lyrics with more of like a folksy song, which I like. And so I re-edited it to go with a sincere version of the song. Although I still have me at the end of it wearing a fur coat, kind of dancing and looking silly. So I might, which Lisa, I showed her the new version last night, and she started laughing when she saw me being silly. And she goes, well, you couldn't quite make it sincere. I go, you're right. So I might record something today that fills in the blanks, or fills in the end where I was using that one last kind of safety valve of silliness. Maybe I'll take that out and try to genuinely make a sincere men's work, Heart-Centered Men video, and see how scary it is for me to share it. Anyone else want to share any gratitude? Some last gratitudes before we head out into the day, head to our beautiful Saturdays, which, by the way, it looks to be a beautiful day in San Diego, a beautiful spring day. I'm grateful that it's spring. That's my favorite season of the year. Gerbot saying, maybe it's a dinosaur bone. That would certainly make for a powerful offering to the god Osiris. Chris is grateful for her new titanium hip. Go robotic, go. Fantastic. Are you in the healing process now? How recently? I've heard it's amazing how what modern medicine can do. My brother is healing right now from a knee surgery that he just had, and that's coming along. And you know, lots of people I know are getting significant surgeries, and somehow the body just, modern science plus human healing, it's really impressive. Any day now, we're going to be able to, inject some starfish DNA and just regrow whatever it is that we lose. 5 weeks healing, awesome, on that titanium hip. Any more gratitude? I am feeling grateful for my brother Janus and his influence in my life. Grateful for the opportunity to celebrate him tomorrow. And grateful for my partnership with Lisa. Grateful for her skillful communication and her courage and her ability to bring up sometimes difficult topics in ways that are so easy for me to receive without getting defensive because of her really masterful communication skills. So grateful for her and for our growing relationship. Gerbat is grateful for this body is slowly healing and for the time off from work to do so. Go healing, go healing, go healing. Well, with that, wherever you are, let's all give ourselves a big old gentle squeeze on these bodies in whatever state of health or healing that they are in, knowing that there's constantly in a state of healing and preserving itself and defending itself. And what a gift to have this fragile but yet so resilient body in this wild world. Grateful for connection, grateful for the ability to hear and amplify and be inspired by one another's gratitudes and lives. Feeling connected in this moment to one another and all those having human experiences as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us, thank you for being here for this Hug Nation Love Morning. I love you. Enjoy your Saturday. Who knows what is in store? And Vesper is grateful for pancakes with kiddo this morning. Okay, that's the dessert I was looking for.